On day 1, I spawned into the prairie as an awesome Venom Dragon! Whoa! That must be what happens when an alien symbiote fuses with a dragon! I wonder what awesome powers this will give me! But I didn't have much time to think about what awesome powers being a symbiote-infused dragon would get me, because I suddenly saw a small group of heavily armored royal guards running towards me! Uh-oh, those guys look a little sinister! I should get out of here! I turned and ran as far from the royal guards as I could, but I was only a baby Venom Dragon with 10 hearts, so I didn't have that much energy. Still, I was able to outrun the royal guards and stop to rest. Jeez, I just got here, and already I've got gangs of armored goons running after me. What's going on here?
Your capture is going on here, knave.
I turned and saw one of the royal guards standing right behind me. I haven't done anything wrong.
Trespassing and suspicious behavior. Our master, the Chief Evoker, demands that we take in any possible accomplices of the Accursed One.
Accursed One? I've never even heard of him.
Oh, forgive me for not believing that. Come with me right now, little Venom Dragon, or I'll be forced to call in reinforcements, and they're a lot less kind than me.
At my current tiny strength, I had no choice but to go with him. On day 2, the royal guard who'd captured me took me back to a base somewhere in the prairie. There was a small structure that seemed like a headquarters and a large walled courtyard protected by a secured door. What is this place? Is this where that Chief Evoker guy lives?
The Chief Evoker is in a different biome, trying to build alliances with other factions so we can ally against the Accursed One. We will keep you in our storage center until he returns.
I promise, I've never heard of the Accursed One. Can't you just take my word for it?
The Chief Evoker has a good sense for the content of people's souls. When he returns, he will judge your worthiness.
He didn't tell me anything after that. He just locked me inside the courtyard where I was trapped with a fungus thrower.
Hey, bub. Name's Bogey. What are you in for?
I'm Zozo, and honestly, I'm not even really sure why I'm here. I guess because I thought I had something to do with this guy they call the Accursed One. How about you?
I'm in here because I don't like authority. The Accursed One, the Chief Evoker, doesn't matter. I don't think anyone should tell anyone what to do for no good reason.
Can't say that I'm keen on them right now either. Before we do anything else, I need to get us out of this place.
I'm open to ideas, fella. I've been in here for 3 weeks. I think I'm starting to go insane.
Bogey's insanity aside, there was still hope here. I waited until nightfall, and then I put my plan into action. I have wings. Maybe, just maybe. I focused really hard until my wings started to carry me upwards. I flew up and out of the courtyard and then landed next to the door outside. I opened it and freed Bogey.
You're a real one, Zozo. I hope we meet again someday.
We both ran off in different directions, relieved that the royal guards hadn't noticed our daring escape. On day 3, I took flight and sailed through the sky above the prairie. Everything below me looked so tiny. It was breathtaking. I felt like I could do it forever. But I couldn't, as I suddenly realized that my hunger bar was looking uncomfortably low. I needed to get back on the ground and quickly get some food. I landed and started searching for fruit or some animals. That's when I happened upon an apple tree and gathered apples. I tasted them and they poisoned me. I guess a dragon only eats meat. Ah, apples, me no likey. I decided to stay on the ground and rest my wings for a bit when I heard huge, thundering footsteps somewhere in the distance. It was way too loud to be one of the royal guards from earlier. Who could that be? I should check it out. I quickly ran over until I saw a massive figure strolling across the prairie. A giant, tough, redstone golem. Whoa, he's so big. I bet nobody messes with him.
You're right about that, kid.
Oh, you could hear me?
I can hear a lot. Just because I'm big and tough, people assume I can't be smart and perceptive too. But I'm the whole package. My name's Red. How about you?
I'm Zozo, and a lot of people have been giving me trouble lately. Can you teach me how to be big and tough like you?
Sure thing, Zozo. So long as you pay me back. Follow me. I'm sure I can teach you a thing or two.
From day 4 to day 5, the redstone golem led me to his home biome, the Red Desert.
Fun fact, it's named after me, Red. I'm just that cool, you know?
Whoa, you're awesome, Red! I'm so happy you're my friend. He led me back to his base and gave me a stone sword and a stone pickaxe.
Take these and go make your own place. Red's a lone wolf. Well, a lone golem. You get the idea. First step of learning to stand up for yourself is learning to fend for yourself. Make yourself a base, and then we'll talk about making you big and tough, like me.
Sure thing, Red. I took the stone sword and stone pickaxe and flew across the red desert, where I started gathering materials to build myself a cool base of my own. It was quite a sight to look at. A beautiful clock tower home I made. It felt good to have something I could call my own. I'm the Venom Dragon, and with help from Red, I'm gonna become the coolest creature in the overworld. I may have yelled that I was the Venom Dragon a little too loudly though, as a small group of royal guards appeared and came running towards me. Oh no, it's time to fight! I pulled out my stone sword and ran in to battle the royal guards. It wasn't easy, but my pure willpower saw me through. I defeated the royal guard detachment and gained enough XP in the process to level up. I got bigger, stronger, went up to 30 hearts, and gained a new power, Venom Breath. Oh man, Red is gonna think this is so cool. I can't wait to show him. From day 6 to day 8, I continued to test out my powers, blowing flames onto trees and cactuses to test their strength. Feels good to finally have some power. Some firepower! Is that even a joke? Oh gosh, who knows? But during my fire practice, I happened to run into an old friend, Bogey the Fungus Thrower. Hey Bogey, how's it hanging?
Been better, been worse. Say, have you had any luck finding that Accursed One? I've been on the lookout. I need to find a new authority to rebel against while the Evoker is still out of town.
Does the Accursed One count as an authority? I'm still not really sure what his whole deal is.
I've been asking around a lot lately. Turns out, he's been causing trouble around here for years. He's rolled through towns, and they've disappeared that same night. He rarely ever leaves survivors, so it's hard to know who he is and what he looks like.
Oh, that's worrying. I think I know exactly who to ask about this. I flew over to my good buddy Red and told him everything that Bogey had told me. He immediately knew what I was talking about and had a great idea.
Yeah, I've heard about this Accursed One. He's a tough customer. Pretty cool, apparently, but obviously evil, too. I've heard that his true power comes from a bunch of dangerous magic users. One of them is the Windcaller. He lives in the Red Oak Forest not far from here. You want my advice? Go take him out. The Accursed One won't like that.
From day 9 to day 10, I flew straight to the Red Oak Forest, searching for the Windcaller, the first magic user who helped prop up the power of the Accursed One. If I can defeat him, it'll bring me one step closer to defeating the Accursed One himself. When I spotted the Windcaller, I immediately flew down towards him and landed a few feet away. He did not seem happy to see me, to say the least.
Get away from me, please! I don't want to fight. I don't want any trouble.
That excuse won't work on me, Windcaller. I know the truth about the Accursed One. You're going down!
The Accursed One? You think you know the truth? You arrogant little dragon! I'll show you how little you really know!
He fired an energy blast at me, and the fight was on. The Windcaller was a formidable opponent because of his magic use, but in the end, I was able to take him down thanks to a combination of Venom Breath and Sword Strikes. Sadly, I lost a lot of hearts in the process. Less sadly, Bogey appeared soon after and let me drink one of his healing potions to regenerate my lost health. Bogey, I can't thank you enough. Why are you here? Were you just following me around?
Nah, man. I just been told the Windcaller was the right man to speak to about finding the Accursed One. But I guess you beat me to him.
He attacked me first, and besides, Red told me to.
You shouldn't let other people tell you what to do and think, Zozo. At least not without questioning why first.
Come on, Bogey, it's fine. Red has my best interests at heart, I think. From day 11 to day 12, I returned back to Red at his awesome base to tell him that I'd defeated the Windcaller in the Red Oak Forest.
Good work, Zozo, good work. Bet you're feeling tougher already, right? Just like I told you, if you listen to your boy Red, everything will turn out all right.
It just felt a little weird though. It didn't seem like he wanted to fight. Isn't that a little strange? Especially if he used to work for that Accursed One guy?
Don't be a dum-dum, Zozo. He just told you that to try to trick you. You can't trust everything that people say. People lie to get what they want literally all the time. Except me, of course. I'm old school.
Fair enough, Red. What do you want me to do next?
There are more magic users out there who want to help that big, probably handsome Accursed One jerk. In the end, you can destroy that evoker. But first, you need to go back to the Red Oak Forest and take out the Geomancer. Upgrade your gear first, though. He's a tricky customer.
On Red's advice, I explored until I found a deep, dark cave, and followed it until I discovered a rich vein of iron ore. This is exactly what I needed. I mined enough iron ore to make the equipment I needed, then created an underground furnace to smelt it all. Soon enough, I had an iron pickaxe, iron sword, and iron helmet. Just in case of a flying accident, my head is protected. Remember to always wear a helmet when riding. But on the way out of the cave, I found another royal guard blocking my path.
I found you! The evoker has returned to the base, and he requests an audience with you!
Oh, I'll see the evoker soon enough, but I won't be going with you! With a powerful burst of venom breath, the royal guard was gone. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the Red Oak Forest, flying through the trees and keeping my eyes peeled for the geomancer that Red wanted me to find. It took until nightfall to find him, where I discovered him by the light of his campfire. He was just standing next to it, trying to stay warm. Rather than attacking him straight away, I hesitated, remembering that the wind caller didn't want to fight me, or at least said that he didn't. Maybe I should at least try to talk to him first. That's the least I could do. So I descended onto the ground and approached the geomancer. When he saw me, he didn't seem to be bothered.
Hello, stranger. It's getting cold. Why don't you come over and warm yourself?
I approached the fire and felt its warmth. The geomancer didn't seem aggressive at all. I had no idea why Red wanted me to destroy him. Mind if I ask you a personal question?
I don't see any harm in it.
Do you have anything to do with the thing they called the Accursed One? There was a long pause before the geomancer replied.
The Accursed One is one of my greatest mistakes. It was me, the wind caller, and the evoker that created him. He was meant to be a weapon for good, but he developed a mind of his own. We have no control over him anymore. He's the monster we created.
Something about this whole conversation unsettled me. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I needed to talk to Red as soon as possible. I left the geomancer to his own devices and flew away. From day 16 to day 19, I flew back to the Red Desert and returned to Red's base. But to my surprise, he wasn't there. Instead, I found a note left by Red, simply reading, "I'm going to do what you should have done. Don't contact me again. We're done, Zozo." It was a devastating note to see. But before I could even properly process this, a familiar person came walking up behind me. It was Bogey. Bogey, what are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I'd come here to pick a fight with that Accursed One guy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I asked around. Some big stone guy around here is that Accursed One you told me about. I figured I'd come down here and beat him up.
Big stone guy? That sounds like... Oh no, I need to get back to the Red Oak Forest. I took flight again and flew back to the camp at the Red Oak Forest as quickly as I could. But when I reached the camp, the fire was out, the geomancer was gone, and only Red remained. Red, are you?
The Accursed One? Duh! I'm amazed it took you this long to figure it out. I wasn't even that subtle about it.
The geomancer told me the truth.
Yeah. That's why I needed to destroy him and the wind caller. And after this, I'm gonna destroy the evoker too. They made me, and once they're gone, no one will be able to unmake me.
That's where you're wrong. I'm going to unmake you right now. I ran in, ready to strike Red with all my might for the terrible things he'd done. And he punched me so hard, I was immediately knocked unconscious. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up, my head still aching from that powerful strike that Red gave me. Ugh, even with that helmet, getting punched in the face by a literal stone fist, that's no fun. The dead campfire next to me only reminded me of the geomancer's horrible fate and the part I played in it. I didn't get to wallow in self-pity for long because Bogey the fungus thrower was emerging from the trees.
Get up, bub. We don't have any time to waste.
What do you mean?
Well, we've got to defeat that big rock guy, right? The Accursed One or whatever. You're not just gonna let him walk all over everyone, are you?
You still want to help me, even though I used to work with that monster?
Let's not focus on the past. We're not going there. Instead, let's go back to your place and work on a plan to take on and destroy that doofus before he can hurt anyone else.
You know what? I think you have a point. I went back to my base with Bogey and mined enough wood to build him an entire house for himself. He deserves it with all the help he gave me so far, and this way we can be neighbors and work with each other. I showed Bogey the house, and he loved it. I'm gonna make Red realize he messed with the wrong Venom Dragon! From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the prairie where I spawned in to do some exploring. I heard the telltale sound of a creeper nearby and flew into the air to get a better look at the terrain. From up above, I saw where the creeper was. It was heading for a witch who was completely oblivious to the hostile mob. Witch, watch out! There's a creeper behind you! I flew down and landed in front of the creeper, burning it with my venom breath. To my surprise, it didn't explode and struck back with a close-range attack. I fought ferociously until the creeper was vanquished. You've creeped for the last time. After that, the witch came back and cast a power-up spell on me.
Here, Venom Dragon. This should enhance your strength and increase your health.
And that it did! I gained 50 hearts and some mighty shooting claw attacks! But I won't use them without just claws. Like just cause? Get it? From day 27 to day 31, I found some sheep in the prairie and decided to pay them a greeting. Hello there, sheep! The sheep's wool looked very overgrown. Perhaps they had been wandering for a while without a trim. I invited them back to my base so that I could help them shed their extra wool. It was the biggest sheep barn I have ever built. Never have the sheep had so much space under the roof. I want to keep their wool nice and dry. When I had placed the last piece of the barn, Bogey the fungus thrower showed up. He had some news of his own about the state of the base.
Great work herding those sheep, Zozo. While you were doing that, I built us a storage building. You're welcome.
Super! I've always wanted a place to store things. Now all I need is some things to store.
Let's gather some resources then. We'll have to be well stocked if we want to take on Red.
You got that right, Bogey! Elsewhere in the Red Desert, our nemesis, Red the Accursed One, was gathering resources of his own.
Go forth, my Dark Knight Rider. The Evoker must be eliminated, along with that pesky Venom Dragon and anyone else who tries to step on my coolness.
You can count on me, Red. I want to rest until all the uncool fools are cut down by my axe.
From day 32 to day 35, I made my way back to the headquarters of the Chief Evoker in order to warn him about Red. The guards at the gate were quick to attack me, thinking that I was a potential threat to their boss. I defended myself with some normal attacks, but avoided using my shooting claw attacks so I could hold back and not hurt them too badly.
You've gotten stronger, trespasser, but why are you not fighting us with all you've got?
Because you don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt you. I bring news about the Accursed One, and I'm glad I made it here before the Red Golem did.
He knows the true identity of the Accursed One. We should let him through to speak with the Chief Evoker.
It seemed like my words had gotten through to the royal guards, so I followed them inside when they told me to enter the humble base to a room full of bookshelves. The Chief Evoker was standing right in front of me. He turned around and looked at my Venom Dragon form with much curiosity.
Your soul is conflicted. It holds the power of both great good and great evil within it. I'm not sure how to judge you just yet.
Forget about judging me. The Accursed One is coming to destroy you, so that nobody will know the secret of his creation.
I should have known it would come to this. Creating that golem was a mistake that cannot be fixed. The best I can do is hide out here and hope that the Accursed One doesn't find me.
You won't be able to hide forever. Not from that monster. He's too powerful.
The Accursed One may be strong, but he isn't unbeatable. If we can gather all three of those who made him.
We don't have that option anymore. You're the only one left.
Well, in that case, I'm going to stay put. You try to figure it out yourself.
Bogey was right. Trusting authority doesn't always work out. From day 36 to day 39, I went mining for the materials I would need to complete my iron armor. If the Chief Evoker is gonna hide from Destiny, I will face it with a full suit of armor. I didn't just unearth iron either. Once I found enough of the metal to build my armor pieces, I was able to find diamonds in the ground as well. Oh yeah, diamonds! These will come in handy later. I crafted the rest of the iron armor and equipped it. Now don't I look snazzy in this armor? Leave a like if you think so, and don't forget to subscribe. I went back above ground to my base in the Red Desert, where I met up with Bogey and told him what happened at the Evoker's base.
It looks like we're gonna have to take this matter into our own hands. We'll stop that accursed monster without the help of the Evoker.
Yes, that might be the only way to get it done. It's you and me, Bogey.
Here, Zozo, you can have my favorite machete. It'll help you the next time you're in a tough fight.
I equipped the machete and gave it a couple swings. It didn't deal any more damage than my sword, but it sure looked a lot cooler. Later on, I was patrolling the outside of the base when a camel came walking towards me across the sands.
You, Venom Dragon, come with me. Someone you know wants to speak with you.
Bogey says I don't have to follow orders, but maybe this time I should do what this camel says. From day 40 to day 43, I went to the location that the camel specified and found out that it was none other than the Chief Evoker waiting to meet with me. I thought you were hiding, Chief Evoker.
You thought right. I am hiding. Someone is coming after me. I need you to protect me.
Really? Your guards throw me in prison? You let your fellow mages die, and you won't do anything about the Accursed One, but now I need to help you?
Only if you want to. Your soul has the potential to protect or destroy.
Okay. Where is this enemy that is following you anyway?
It's coming. Prepare yourself.
I looked across the prairie and saw someone on a horse.
There you are, Chief Evoker. I'm going to chop you up for being so uncool.
Who are you, buddy?
I'm the Dark Knight Rider, and it looks like I've got another target right here in front of me.
Not now you don't, because we're running away! And we did. From day 44 to day 49, I had run all the way back to my base, only to find that the Chief Evoker had arrived there before me. So it's not just hiding, but running you're also good at.
I am not your enemy, Zozo. You don't need to get sassy with me.
If you say so, but don't expect I'm going to let you hide here at the base.
I'll return to my own base soon enough, but for now, I'm going to give you this.
The Chief Evoker handed me a mace, even though I already had a powerful weapon. He also showed me a book of secrets full of magic spells. What are these for?
My companions who helped forge the Accursed One, the Geomancer and Windcaller, might be gone now, but the magic we used to create the golem existed before us, and remains without them. I have written my part of it in my book of secrets, and if you can find the other two, we can enchant the mace with a breaking spell to unmake the Accursed One.
Now that's more like it. I'll take on this quest and gain the power to defeat Red. Where should I start?
Return to the Red Oak Forest. There you may seek the Windcaller's magical secrets.
And with that, I was on my way. From day 50 to day 53, I sought the magical secrets of the Windcaller deep in the Red Oak Forest. Here, secret, secret. Here, secret. Finding secrets was a way more difficult task than I had thought. But then again, I guess that's what made them secrets. In its current condition, the mace was not a powerful weapon, so I couldn't even use it to fight regular mobs. I was about to head back home when I ran into a mummy.
Did somebody say secret? As in the magical secrets of the Windcaller?
Yes, I did. But don't tell anyone. It has to be a secret.
I remember back when the Windcaller and those other two were first building their golem with the intention to protect us all. The Windcaller said that the golem would have the power to listen to the wind and know when others are in trouble.
That probably has something to do with finding the secret, but I can't figure it out right now. I walked away and traveled off through the woods. I'd be back to scout this area again on another day. From day 54 to day 57, I was taking a scenic walk through the prairie on the way back to my base when I encountered that Dark Knight Rider who was working for Red.
Time for me to ask you a question, Venom Dragon. And the answer is your demise!
Why are you even working for Red, Dark Knight Rider? Don't you know that he's a loner?
Simple, because I've got a score to settle with the Chief Evoker. But you won't need to hear about that. I'll just chop you to pieces!
The Dark Knight Rider ran towards me, and I used my Venom Breath on him. It barely did any damage, and he just kept charging forward. I'd better get out of here. I flew away, escaping through the sky where the Dark Knight Rider couldn't reach me. While his handyman was tracking me, Red was brooding all alone in his base.
I can hear him now, those voices on the wind. Yes, that's a sure sign that my enemies are in trouble. It's cool to know that people I don't like are failing.
From day 58 to day 62, I came in for a graceful landing in the middle of my base, where Bogey was quick to welcome me back home.
Our base has become much more self-sufficient thanks to my efforts. Come check this out.
I looked around inside to see Bogey had installed a furnace for regulating temperature throughout the base. This is excellent, Bogey. Who doesn't need a furnace in the desert for when it gets cold?
I also started work on building a defensive bunker in case things really get dangerous out there. Can you gather some materials to help complete it?
Of course! The mines were full of the materials I would need to reinforce the bunker, so I went down below to gather them. I went further than the usual mines and arrived at the deep mining cave. There was iron and stone, and of course, diamonds! Never can have too many of these. I should upgrade my gear with these shiny diamonds while I'm here. I mined the diamonds and crafted myself a diamond sword, diamond pickaxe, and diamond helmet. While I didn't have enough diamonds for a full suit of armor, I was armed with a strong weapon now in the form of my diamond sword. I returned to Bogey the fungus thrower and gave him all the materials I gathered so he could finish the defensive bunker within the base. From day 63 to day 66, I found the Evoker had come to visit my base again with further knowledge on how I could complete the mace and the unmaking spell.
I have found the secret location of the magical secrets that the Geomancer had once brought to the table in the creation of the Accursed One.
That's great news! I wasn't able to find the Windcaller's magic secrets, but at least we can use the Geomancer's secrets.
They are in a new biome that you've never seen before. Allow me to guide you to that place.
The Chief Evoker led me down to the lush caves, a forest beneath the surface of the overworld, which had unique plants seen nowhere else in the world. This looks like the work of geomancy, no doubt about it. We soon came upon a huge door that was sealed with geomancy magic.
The magical secrets are behind here.
That's good to know, but it looks like the door itself can't be opened.
It's true. The Geomancer was so ashamed of playing a role in the making of the Accursed One that he sealed his secrets behind this door.
I guess we'll need to backtrack here once we've learned the way to get through this door. From day 67 to day 70, the Chief Evoker once again asked me for help with another matter.
It is urgent. There is a bad soul running loose around the prairie. You have to stop it.
I guess I've got to do what you say. I arrived at the prairie and saw exactly what the Chief Evoker was talking about. An evil wraith was going absolutely crazy and tearing the place apart. I drew my machete and moved towards the wraith, cautiously. It fired a lightning bolt at me, which I dodged. I returned the favor with my venom breath.
I've achieved true power. I don't need anyone anymore. I am strong all by myself.
Just because you're cool by yourself doesn't mean you should go destroying things.
I bet somebody else made you believe that so you wouldn't destroy him. Life is better when you're on your own.
And you're only saying that because you aren't listening to others. If you listen to me, I promise you'll be stronger with someone to help you. The Wraith thought about it for a moment.
You have convinced me to accept help from others. If it really does power me up.
I solved the problem without fighting. I guess not every bad soul is beyond convincing. From day 71 to day 74, the Dark Knight Rider showed up and started breaking down my base with his deadly horse.
Not so cool after I pillaged your base. Then again, you were never cool.
You're the one who's about to find out what cool is after I slice you. I drew my machete and we battled each other, weapon to weapon. The fight was even for a while, but then the Dark Knight Rider disarmed me of my machete and stole it for himself.
It'd be hard to slice me without this. See you later, you uncool fool.
Wait, this isn't over! The Dark Knight Rider didn't wait, and just like that, he was gone. I may have survived with my life, but I lost Bogey's favorite machete, and that made me extremely sad. I ran into my room and cried about it for a long time, wishing I had only hung on to the machete a little bit tighter. After a few hours of crying, Bogey showed up in my room. I was almost too sad to talk to him. I'm sorry, Bogey. I can't believe I lost your favorite machete.
Zozo, it's only a machete. At least you're still okay. You're my best friend.
You're right. Thanks, Bogey.
Come out and play. I've already fixed the base up from the Dark Knight Rider attack.
I spent some time with Bogey, not knowing that Red was once again plotting something all by his lonesome.
Try to unmake me, will they? I'll unmake them when I get my hands on the fully completed Mace of Magic.
From day 75 to day 78, the Chief Evoker was back at my base once again. You show up here a whole lot, don't you?
It's because you're so useful, Zozo. Now have all these javelins.
Okay, I'll have all those javelins. I took the javelins that the Chief Evoker was giving me and asked him if there was any other reason why he was here.
There is. I thought you could help me deal with the Dark Knight Rider that has been plaguing us. That is because he tried my magic secrets, but I said no, and kept him from learning.
Why didn't you let him learn your magic?
Who knows? But secrets are meaningless unless you keep them.
That sounded kinda cool, but not in a nice way. Either way, I took my javelins and went to track down the Dark Knight Rider. From day 79 to day 84, I explored the Red Desert until I found Red's base. There, I saw the Dark Knight Rider, obviously about to report to his boss, the Accursed One. Eat javelins, you thief! I flew around the Dark Knight Rider and hurled the javelins one after another. He was barely damaged at all. The javelins were ineffective, so I switched to my shooting claw attacks.
Why would I eat those? Javelins and claws aren't food, but you're going to be minced meat once I'm done with you!
The Dark Knight Rider attacked me with his horse, which even with my diamond armor, still did a lot of damage.
See, I don't need magic to be a cool guy. All I need is a horse and style, and I can do whatever I want with my life.
You need more than that, Dark Knight Rider. Life isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about doing what must be done. That's what real coolness is all about. Inspired by my own words, I embraced the power of coolness and leveled up into a big-sized Supreme Venom Dragon with 100 hearts. How do you like me now? Probably not a lot, because I'm gonna destroy you with my coolness.
Oh, no! He's so cool now!
I sure am. But enough about me. Here's something that isn't cool. My 1,000,000-degree Dragon Fireball! I used my new special attack to defeat the Dark Knight Rider! The Dragon Fireball scorched him and his horse, leaving behind no trace he was even there, beyond my machete and a special key marked with geomancy magic. I have a feeling I know where this goes. From day 85 to day 89, I saw that Bogey the Fungus Thrower had almost completed the defensive bunker that I had gathered all those materials for.
All it needs is a strong door to keep out the authorities.
I can handle that. Leave it to me, Bogey. With a few more pieces of iron and glass, I crafted a set of metal warning doors and sealed the chamber by placing down the doors. The defensive bunker was complete. I'll be heading to the lush caves. Stay inside the bunker where it's safe. I brought the special key I got from the Dark Knight Rider to the caves and used the item to unlock the Geomancer's door. Finally, I can enchant the mace with the magic secrets of the Geomancer. On the other side of the door was a giant tarantula that spit poison at me. I struck back with a Dragon Fireball. The tarantula was too tough to go down in one hit, but the second and third fireballs hit their mark and flame broiled the spidery mob. Now for those delicious secrets. The Geomancer had written the secrets on the wall, and as I read them, the mace became infused with power. Could this be the unmaking spell I need to defeat Red? I certainly hope it is. From day 90 to day 94, I exited the Geomancer's secret cave with the mace in my hand and found that Red was standing there in the lush caves menacingly.
What are you gonna do with that, Zozo? Are you gonna try and unmake me now, punk? Are ya?
It seems like the thing I must do, right?
Wrong! You could be free and cool like me if you put down the mace and stood by my side. I can still show you how to be awesome.
I'm not listening to you. It's unmaking time. I hit him with the mace, but the charged up magic didn't accomplish much of anything. Was the spell still incomplete? He hit me with a big punch that knocked away almost half of my health. That knocked me so hard, I dropped my mace, which he grabbed and hit me again. Before I could do anything back, I was frozen by some magic. Oh no, I can't escape.
You actually believed what Chief Evoker said? He doesn't know how to destroy me, and soon nobody will be able to. Goodbye, Zozo.
Red left, and I was still frozen by the scared still effect. I have to find a way out of here. From day 95 to day 97, I waited just long enough for the effect to wear down and go away. Now that I was released, I traveled through the lush caves. I knew that I had to talk to the Chief Evoker to find out the real way to unmake Red. When I arrived at the Evoker's base in the prairie, I found that all the royal guards were dead, and the Evoker himself wasn't far from it.
Zozo, where were you? The Accursed One rampaged through here and took out everyone, including me.
I tried my hardest, Evoker, but I was trapped, and Red, the Accursed One, was too strong for the unmaking spell.
I guess there really is no way to undo a mistake. I was the most uncool fool of all.
As he faded away, I was reminded of something I had known for a long time. I'd need to take this matter into my own hands. Red was going down. On day 98, I found my base in the Red Desert had been reduced to ruins. The sheep had all wandered far away. This was probably the work of Red, since I knew his base wasn't far from mine. I guess this desert really does belong to him now. He's made it clear that nobody else is welcome here.
Since when do we have to listen to what the Accursed One says?
It was Bogey the Fungus Thrower. He had survived the attack by hiding inside the defensive bunker. Bogey, you're alive!
I'm more alive than ever. We'll protect the overworld now, just you and me. I've got an idea to deal with Red.
Let's hear it. You've always come through for me, just like your favorite machete.
If we can take the mace from Red, we might not be able to unmake him, but we can reprogram him to be what he was always meant to be, a protector.
I like that plan. On day 99, I went to Red's base and flew in circles, shooting dragon fireballs at it until he came out to face me. After a while, Red finally appeared.
Give it a rest. You lost. I'm too cool to care about anybody now.
That's what you think. I'm pretty cool too, and I bet you can't beat me without the mace.
You mean this mace? I don't need it.
He threw the mace onto the ground, and we began to fight each other. I avoided his punches and hit him with my shooting claw attacks, then my machete. Red hit me with a strong attack, and I needed to get some distance on him. I blasted him with dragon fireballs. He ran towards me and tried to punch me again, but I flew into the air to avoid them. The damage from the fight was difficult to withstand, but I bought enough time for Bogey the fungus thrower to sneak up and steal the mace off the ground.
Zozo, I got it! Let's get out of here!
Great work, Bogey! I shot another dragon fireball at Red to distract him and then retreated back to the base with Bogey. Once we were there, we used all the magical secrets to change the unmaking spell into a make better spell. You stay here, Bogey. I'm gonna use this spell on Red the Accursed One and make him Red the Reversed One. Or the nice one. On day 100, I flew back to Red's base and went inside. Red the Accursed One was there waiting for me, but I was ready to face him.
All this time you've had to learn how to be cool, but you really just learned how to keep being a fool.
Actually, I've learned the best lesson of all. People who are really cool don't have to say it all the time. And they don't just do whatever they want, they do what they must.
No more speeches! I will unmake you like you tried to unmake me!
I was wrong, Red. I won't unmake you anymore. I'll make you better. We battled in melee combat for some time. I used the machete to chip away at his defenses until I could use the make better spell from the mace. The spell worked its secret magic, and soon Red was starting to seem a whole lot less mean. He grew in size and changed his color to a friendly green, becoming a golem with a kind streak as big as his arm span.
Wow, I don't want to be a loner anymore. I want to protect other people.
And everything was better! Now, thanks to my Make Better spell, Red, or should I say Green, would be the world's protector, and I would have a chance to relax until I was needed again.